This video production is to acquaint you with your new powder spray torch and related materials, which could be either Victor or Stoody branded. If you want additional oxy-fuel safety and setup information, please request the Victor Safety DVD. In this video, we will show you how to assemble and set up your equipment and introduce you to some of the tasks you may perform with it. A typical coding example will be given so you may see the techniques used. Section 1. Torch Assembly. Check the O-rings each time before assembly and replace them if worn or damaged. Connect the green oxygen hose to the torch handle and then connect the red acetylene hose to the torch handle. Note the left-hand threads on the acetylene hose. Be sure to tighten both connections with a wrench. Now, attach the hopper assembly to the torch handle so that the trigger release will be on top. Only hand tighten this connection. Next, attach the elbow or gooseneck to the hopper assembly so that the end is turned down in relation to the hopper. Again, hand tighten only. Select the proper tip for your application. A 3TE tip with a small diameter orifice is used for the buildup and/or hard facing of small areas. A 4TE tip with a medium diameter orifice used for medium to larger areas. Use a 6TEMF rosebud tip for buildup and/or hard facing of larger areas. Connect the selected tip to the elbow and wrench tighten. Note the hopper to tip configuration when assembled. Section 2. Protective Apparel. Operators should protect themselves from sparks, flying slag, and flame brilliance at all times. Wear goggles with safety lenses that are shade number 5 or darker. Protective gloves, clothing, sleeves, aprons, and shoes should be worn to protect skin and clothing from sparks and slag. All clothing and protective apparel must be free of oil and grease. Section 3. Preparation of the workpiece. Prepare the workpiece for overlay by wire brushing, grinding, or sandblasting to remove all dirt, mill scale, rust, or other foreign matter. The work surface must be free of any oil and/or grease. Section 4. Powder selection. The type of powder used will be dependent on your application. Build-up powders are used to build up and repair worn parts. After application, these powders are easily machined should additional finishing be required. Wear prevention powders are used to prevent surface wear. These powders produce hard coatings designed for severe wear applications. Grinding will be necessary if additional finishing is required. Section 5. Lighting the torch. Press the trigger lever down and turn the lock to the off or operate position. Lightly agitate the powder, then remove the cap. Turn the powder hopper upside down and screw on the 1-pound bottle. Make sure that the torch control valves are completely closed. Standing with the cylinder between you and the regulator, crack the oxygen gas cylinder valve, then open it fully. Set the regulator pressure to 30 psi. Open the acetylene gas cylinder valve 1/4 to 1/2 turn and set the regulator pressure between 5 and 10 psi. Momentarily open, then close the torch control valves to purge the lines. Holding the torch in one hand and a spark lighter in the other, open the torch's acetylene valve 1/4 to 1/2 turn and ignite the gas with a spark lighter. Point the flame away from personnel, cylinders, and any other combustible materials. Open the torch acetylene valve until the flame stops sooting. Now slowly open the torch oxygen valve until a typical neutral flame is produced as shown here. Section 6. Operating techniques. Preheat by directing the flame toward your workpiece while holding the tip approximately 2 to 4 inches away. When the workpiece surface turns a bluish tint, Pre-spray the area to be resurfaced by slightly depressing the powder trigger while holding the tip about 1 to 2 inches away. The pre-sprayed surface will have a thin, rough, unfused coating which will protect it from oxidation during the balance of the spraying process. After the part has been pre-sprayed, select a starting point, usually a corner or end of the piece, and slowly heat that area until the pre-sprayed powder begins to fuse, which will be indicated by a shining mirror-like appearance. Maintain a tip-to-workpiece distance of 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch to obtain the best results. Add additional powder by depressing the powder feed lever. Then release the lever to stop powder flow. Fuse this newly deposited powder by moving slowly enough for all the deposit to fuse. Continue by repeating the last 2 steps of adding powder and fusing until the desired thickness is obtained. Be sure all the powder is completely fused. Note that travel speed, tip size, and torch manipulation control the thickness of the buildup. Normal thicknesses are from 1/32 to 1/8 of an inch. To increase buildup thicknesses, simply make multiple passes over the same area. Section 7. Extinguishing the torch and shutdown. To extinguish the flame, first shut off the torch oxygen valve, then shut off the torch acetylene valve. After the flame is extinguished, wipe off the face of the tip with a clean, oil-free cloth to prevent any accumulation and buildup of powder. Turn the torch upside down and unscrew the powder bottle. Replace the cap on the powder bottle and store all powder in a dry area. Depress the feed lever and turn the trigger lock to the on or store position to prevent damage to the powder feed tube. Close the valve on the oxygen and acetylene cylinders. On the torch, momentarily open and close one valve, then the other, to depressurize both the lines. Finally, back out the cylinder regulator knobs to their off position. Store the torch in a safe, clean area to ensure long life and optimum operation. Reviewing this presentation from time to time will help you better understand and properly operate and care for your powder coating equipment.